There's something bad here in Derry.
Hello viewers, my name is Adam.
I'm here.
This is Seeking Me Productions bringing you a new type of video. We're doing trailer reviews.
It's about time for a little bit of a change too, and we got quite a few changes going around in life in general, so see how this works.
Yeah, and if you like this new format of video, please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. And possibly we'll be doing a lot more of these, just based off of your like how it does. We're close to 1,000 subscribers, so be sure to look out for other videos on the way.
So we just got done watching the new trailer for Welcome to Derry. A new show that's coming to HBO and specifically Max, I believe, or
it's an
HBO original, based off of the movies and the Stephen King novel, that being Stephen King's It.
Welcome to Derry has been a longer development television series ever since Max, the streaming service, became a thing. Looking at where the show is coming, like how it's developed so far, there is indeed some concern there.
The biggest elephant in the room. This show, like many shows like it, in the sense that these expansions onto already existing properties, falls in the category of having to prove itself, specifically prove its existence and why it's even here. It's really easy for a show like this to fall on its butt simply because it's just not enough going on in it to justify why anybody would want to tune in and watch it. Of course, you already know what the story is about if you actually read the books, or B, the original adaptation, which was the mini-series that came out back in the day, or you was individuals that was around to watch the newer adaptations for both part 1 and part 2.
Back in 2017 was directed, both parts 1 and 2 were directed by Muschietti, and he's coming back around to direct, he directed a lot of some of the episodes, but the showrunners for this series is actually Jason Fuchs and Kane.
So where does this trailer really fall for the two of us, or at least this teaser? It definitely has the cinematography that you wanted to see into it from the adaptations that came before it. It looks like it definitely fits within the world that was already presented to us. That's good.
And aesthetically, one of the things that was a change from the 2017 film was the time period. 2017 took place in the 1980s, and the book, the first part, took place in the 50s. This one decided be also a little bit different, but aesthetically is similar to the 50s, this time 1962.
But that in and of itself is something that, again, is very concerning. It looks like we got, yet again, another group of youngsters that has to do battle with the forces that are increasingly terrorizing them, and that of Derry itself. But my problem is, okay, we've already tread this water.
Yeah, at least from this first teaser, it seems that it's falling into a very familiar formula of which how the first part and some part 2 was structured on. Pennywise, he was set aside on select few kids, terrorize them until he able to get them at least one by one of some sort.
And I guess if it turns out that this is really a case in which no one is safe, that could be that could be engaging in itself. But even in that way, it has to do a lot of creative things in order to set up itself that would be engaging for an audience.
Yeah, for the most part, the one thing that this, from so far, what this series is going for, based off this teaser alone, is the very fact that you are dealing with essentially original characters, despite being inspired by the novel. So it gives the writers a lot of freedom to go by them. There are some elements that was only teased in the Muschietti films
and definitely wasn't nearly expressed in the original adaptation. So if they go about doing that in this series, that could be something that's fruitful but you got to be careful about that as well.
It's kind of odd that they already are like even with doing I'm surprised that the setting isn't in the 1950s, given the fact that or it's set in canon. It makes himself known in Derry every 30 years.
Yep.
And 1962, and I believe 2017 came out, and it was around 1987 or right around the time the first Tim Burton.
Yeah.
Batman was, because it was like posted in the theater. That's only somewhat of a 20-year difference. So you're trying to say that it really wanted to come out a little bit earlier during this time period?
Yeah. So again,
it's breaking
some canon aspects in there. So I hope that's not the case. But again, when you look at it, it's like yeah. There's some issues, or at least some concerns. Again,
and I'm a little bit concerning that even if the show is actually good and great, and
fingers crossed it is. I do not want this to be a failure. I actually want this to succeed.
Because if it is narratively, creatively, on the positive end, my worry is that if it falls into the realm of the Penguin.
Oh yeah.
The Penguin, another Warner Brothers property, was a TV spinoff of the popular Batman from Matt Reeves. But even though that show was creatively well done and awards clean out them on that front, barely anybody watched it on the ratings.
And that could be very. And it's just really interesting that Warner Brothers is going in this direction, especially again since it seems like we're in a renaissance for horror, and I feel as though in this new renaissance, anything that's going to be working itself within this genre has to be able to differentiate itself and make sure it feels fresh.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I look forward to see at least a full on trailer that's going to give us some more grit and something more to sink our teeth into.
Especially since if the show winds up doing well, the series is apparently already greenlit for 2 additional series.
I really wish studios would stop doing that.
Yeah.
Because it's more often than not, it really just shoots them. It just feels like they shoot themselves in their foot or stick their own foot in their mouth, and it's like, you guys really do need to let something breathe and at least let something actually show that it has legs.
Yeah, because already they technically following the in canon scenario of when Pennywise appears in Derry. Each season for seasons 2 and 3 is supposed to even go back 30 years backwards each time until the 1900s.
To be honest with you, I wish they kind of started a little bit like around that, to be honest with you.
Hopefully the series does everything it can in this first one go. Yeah.
We're always game to be proven wrong.
But this is our first trailer review instead of a regular reaction. That is not to say that we'll continue doing reactions. Just that we want to mix things up a bit. So comment below how you feel about how we're doing this the video. Remember, what are your takes on it? Welcome to Derry.
Are y'all game for this? I mean, let's be honest. Did anybody really wanted to see this?
Stephen King makes up about almost a third of Hollywood anyway.
That's true. I mean, they're going to have this stuff no matter what.
Yeah. But yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. And also follow us on other social media outlets of Letterboxd, Threads, Instagram.
Yep.
We're all out there.
See y'all next time.